Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carla Cabrera Carrera. I am the Deputy District Manager. This is Bronx Community Board 7's General Board Meeting. On September 22nd, Mayor Adams issued Executive Order 210, extending the state of emergency through December 21st. Accordingly, community boards are able to continue to act under the state of emergency section of the video conferencing law, Chapter 56 of the laws of 2022. This allows the community board to continue to meet remotely. The minutes and recordings of the community board meetings will appear on our website within 2 weeks. While certain portions of the open meeting law are suspended, all of the regulations regarding meeting notices, committee quorum, meeting minutes, and video recordings are still in place. Meeting notifications will be sent via email through our marketing tools. Please continue to check your junk or spam folders, as well as our social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All outreach platforms will include web links for Zoom video and conference call number. Bronx Community Board 7 will continue to use Zoom, which can easily be downloaded to your desktop, cell phone, or by opening a new browser. We will be posting our meetings recordings on YouTube for more accessibility to residents. Some reminders. Audio is necessary if you wish to participate. When using the computer to join, always allow Zoom to access your microphone and camera in order to be seen or heard. If using the computer, audio background noises will be picked up by your computer speaker or microphone, interrupting the participant's ability to listen or speak. It is recommended that you use earphones or a headset. Please test your device to ensure it works, and do not forget that the meeting is live and your background is visible. If you're calling in from a cell phone or landline, listen to the following controls for joining. To be heard, to hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone. *6 to mute or unmute yourself. *9 to virtually raise your hand. Again, ** to see all available commands. *6 to mute or unmute yourself, and *9 to virtually raise your hand. Community Board 7 has a code of conduct for meetings with penalties and actions, and it reads as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove and/or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban. The amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committees of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-persons, outbursts, or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace, and the authorities shall be summoned. I will now start the public hearing, public session. This is an opportunity for the public to comment and make announcements. I'll start by calling our elected officials. Are there any elected officials in the room?
I'm in the room.
Yes, please. Thank you.
It's Assemblyman Jeffrey Dinowitz. I represent part of Board 7. Oh, did I cut ahead of you, council member? I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm raising my hand. You called out, but it's okay.
Well, that's because you were a teacher and I wasn't. I was just a student who always called out.
Foolish me.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. I don't think I was at the last meeting. I forget why. I think it was because there was an election going on or something. I first just want to thank the community, because I was reelected to serve at least 2 more years in the election last month, and I did very well. So I'm very appreciative of all the people in the community who came out and voted for me. I represent a chunk of the Norwood part of Board 7. I usually come and talk about some of the events we're doing in the district. For example, we're still engaging in a food drive out of my office, and one of the groups that we send the food to, we send it to 2 food banks, including the Kingsbridge Heights Community Center and the St. Francis of Rome Food Pantry, which is in the Wakefield section. And we're still doing that. So if anybody wants to donate to that, that would be great. And we are also continuing to do, giveaways of COVID testing kits and masks and stuff like that. And that's really important because the COVID rates are going way up again. And that's, we've all got to be careful, which is one reason why I guess we're continuing to meet online on Zoom. The last thing I'll say, because I did say I would be brief, is that we're going to start the new legislative session in a couple of weeks. And I'm hoping we can get a lot accomplished this year. I'm the main sponsor of legislation that's called the Climate Change Superfund Act, which obviously would address the issue of climate change in a very big way. We're working on the legislation again to create a utility consumer advocate's office. I've been a long time co-sponsor of legislation in the Assembly for the New York Health Act, which is legislation which this year moved from the Health Committee to the committee I chair, the Codes Committee, and it moved to the next step. So we've made some progress, and we're hoping this year to make more progress, at least in the Assembly. And of course, much of the legislation I've done in the past couple of years is housing legislation, and we're going to continue to do that. But since I see another elected official anxiously awaiting the opportunity to speak, I'm going to cut it there. But let me just say, very healthy and happy holidays and a new year to everybody here. And I look forward to continuing to working with everybody in the coming year. Happy New Year to all.
Thank you. Council Member Eric Dinowitz.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy holidays, happy New Year. It was great to see some of you at the tree lighting on Mosholu Parkway. It was just last week. It was such a great event to see so many kids enjoy singing, dancing, and then just enjoying time together. I really love to see that. I will also be brief. I just want to inform you of a few pieces of legislation that I'm working on. We don't have session like they do in Albany. We have to go, we have to go throughout the year, unfortunately, because back and forth between City Hall. I'd rather spend more of my time here with you here in the district. But we're moving forward on a bill I've been speaking about a lot, a bill for students with disabilities in high school transitioning to college. My bill hopefully will get voted on soon. The purpose of the bill is to just make that transition from high school to college more seamless, ensuring they get the services that they need in college. There's some 311 bills I'm working on, allowing people to submit video and pictures with their 311 complaints, and importantly, following up on having the ability to follow up on their 311 complaint. It's often told that it's closed. Their complaints are often told, your complaints are often told they're closed when they're not. So my bill would allow you to provide feedback to the agency and let them know that it's not closed. And what's really important about some of these bills is that they come from you. When you call my office and let me know some of the things that you wish government would work a little better on, that allows me to craft legislation to make your life better. And lastly, the Mosholu Parkway elevator. I think those of you who've been following me from the campaign and from before that, we worked very hard to rally. Many of you worked with us to rally to get signatures to lobby the MTA to install an elevator at Mosholu Parkway. And that is on the 4 train of Mosholu Parkway. And that is happening. I think it is happening very soon. I don't have the exact date, but the MTA is moving forward on that, which I am very, very pleased because we started this process feel like it was 2018, 19. And so it's been a few years. And so that's going to be happening very soon. So I'm really pleased. And that's going to be so impactful for all of us, especially people with disabilities, especially older adults. And of course, people going to the hospital. We got two big hospitals right there. I will add one other piece of legislation that I'm a prime sponsor on. It's a sort of a healthcare transparency act law that would create a commission in New York City, but also require that the hospitals be transparent about how much they're charging you for procedures. And one of the goals of this is actually to reduce healthcare costs. Healthcare costs are skyrocketing. Any of you who are municipal workers or retired municipal workers are very keenly aware of the problems that so many of us are facing in healthcare. And this bill seeks to actually lower healthcare costs, which is one of the things not too many people are actually taking action on. So I'm very proud to be a prime sponsor on that piece of legislation. And again, I'm gonna leave it there, but happy holidays, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you all in the new year.
Thank you, council member. Is anyone here from the mayor's office? Okay. Is anybody here from the New York City Public Advocate's office? Okay, do we have anyone here from the New York City Comptroller's office? Anyone here from the Bronx Borough President's office? Anyone here from the Bronx District Attorney's office? Is anybody here from the 52nd precinct? Do we have anyone from the state Senator Gustavo Rivera's office?
Hi, Carla. Yes, this is Rachel Ferrari from Senator Rivera's office. I want to wish you all a happy holiday season. I hope you're staying bundled up and, letting us know if you've got any heat and hot water complaints. I'll drop our phone number in the chat. I want to talk about our legislation as well. We're really excited that a lot of the senators' bills are getting delivered to the governor's desk. And actually, right before Thanksgiving, she signed one of our bills that will prohibit hospitals from seeking liens on people's homes or wage garnishment in order to collect medical debt. This would also prohibit any predatory debt collectors from trying to take away folks' homes or wages simply to collect medical debt for care that they needed. That was really great. If you're interested in more of the legislation that's pending, that's waiting to see the governor's desk, you feel free to email me. I will also drop my email in the chat. I want to make sure everyone is aware of the tridemic, the triple-demic we are facing. It's RSV primarily affecting kids. We got surges in COVID. We're also seeing surges in the flu. So get your flu shots, your vaccines, and please wear your mask. I'm gonna put my information in the chat to respect the time limit here. But just quickly, I will no longer be serving as the Community Board 7 liaison. Our lovely chief of staff is on parental leave and will return at the end of February. So as acting chief right now, I got a couple more duties to take care of. So sorry, Mendoza, who some of you may know already and who will be at the 52nd Precinct Council meeting, is going to take over CB7 liaison duties. Again, I'll put my contact in the chat, Rachel Ferrari from Senator Rivera's office. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Rachel, and congratulations. Do we have anyone here from State Senators Jamal Bailey's office? Anyone here from State Senator Biaggi's office? Do we have anyone here from Assemblymember Jose Rivera's office? Anyone from Assemblymember Natalia Fernandez's office? Anyone from Assemblymember Yudelka Tapia's office? And George, would you like to go ahead and speak on behalf of Councilmember Oswald Felice's office? Oh, George.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, my phone was mute. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You may go ahead now.
Okay. Hold on. So, okay, hold on. So, like I was saying, Councilmember Oswald Feliz is actually working with Botanical Gardens, with the new senior housing that's getting developed on 2850 Webster Avenue for seniors. You have to be 60 years of age or older. There are 130 senior apartments, and 50 of those go to the homeless. Also, we have applications in our office, and also we are welcome to sign you up for Housing Connect also. And also recently the council member had a tree lighting in Fordham at Bryant Park, at the little triangle in Fordham, with Fordham bid and City Jeans. We had Santa Claus came out, the Grinch, a human Christmas tree. It was good. We gave out presents, and also the council member is also hosting an event with Grubhub to cater to the seniors at Severn Gardens on December 15th. And also we're going to buy food from the local restaurants. That's all. And and our office is located on 573 East Fordham Road. Entrance is on Huffman Street, and the number is on 718-842-8100. And my email is gcook@council.nyc.gov. Thank you.
Thank you, George. And I see Adrian Cacho from Councilmember Purina Sanchez's office.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I just want to extend the congratulations again to Yahida on being elected new chair. Very much looking forward to continuing to work together on behalf of the council member's office. So congrats again. First things first, I definitely do want to reiterate that we are in the second round of participatory budget period. So for any folks who have any ideas that they would like to share about how they would like to see the funds getting invested into the community, please do not hesitate to reach out to our office. I will share all of the information once I am done. Secondly, the Citizens Committee is continuing to accept applications. For those who aren't aware of the Citizens Committee, they are one of the nation's oldest microfunding organizations. So if you would like more information on that, I will also disseminate that after. And lastly, we will have our next Kingsbridge Armory workshop on January 21st. I'm seeing I'm over time. So again, any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. I will add all my information at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Next, we have Pam Cora from Bronx Library Center.
Good evening, everyone. Can you see and hear me? Hopefully you can.
We hear you.
Okay, you hear me? That's good enough for the time being. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to highlight a few of the programs and offerings that we have at Bronx Library Center currently. So if you have anyone that might be interested in free English classes, we are opening our registration on January 9th of 2023. Attendees can attend a session at 12, 3, or 6 p.m. to receive an assessment, sign up. There's no cost associated or anything. Everything at the library is free. So please spread the word. I'll give the flyer to Jade and the CB7 email to spread a bit more widely with organizations and all of our Community Board 7 patrons. Also, we will host tax preparation at Bronx Library Center. This service is going to be available on Sundays beginning February of 2023. So if you have anyone that might be interested in the service, please let us know. We're continuing with our social work intern who will be on site Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So if anyone needs any general assistance, being pointed in the proper direction for resources, please let us know. We're more than happy to welcome them when they visit us on site. Thank you. Have a good evening. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Pam. Next, we have Eleonora Amoya.
Hi, so yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Eleonora Amoyao, and I'm a New York City constituent. I wanted to briefly express my thoughts on the New York City Council Bill number 0517-2022, which is related to creating a good food purchasing program in New York City. Did you know that nearly 240 million meals provided annually in its public schools? New York City purchasing power is uniquely positioned to affect massive change in regional food system. But what do we really know about our food system? Data about the city of New York's 500 million yearly food expenditures, where the food comes from and how it's produced have been hard to measure. However, with this bill and the help of a dedicated advisory board, would develop and create guidelines to track and test progress. Although Mayor Eric Adams signed 2 executive orders this year to formalize the city's commitment to good food purchasing, but on the New York City Council legislation file page, the bill status is reported as laid over since June of 2022. So would you please consider speaking to the New York City Council members to codify the city's commitment to program implementation process, ensure that adequate resources are available, and ultimately help passing the bill? To support the advocacy, I can email you guys a fact sheet if you guys are interested that outlines everything that I mentioned and more. Thank you all for your time and happy holidays.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Armando AJ Ramos.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify. I wanted to talk about the motion and then the public hearing. So I don't know if that's going to be 2 minutes. I brought it up last time. If I could just start going. The transition from high school to college is extremely tough. Any and all help that can be provided to our students should be welcome and embraced. Please vote yes on the motion. And then for the general public hearing, in yet another attempt at finally bringing the board to compliance with the comptroller's audit, and before seeking the courts or a lawsuit formally step in, since tomorrow's meeting selecting the interview questions to be submitted to the new district manager is not open to the public or transparent, CB7 needs to ask all applicants if they have read the Freedom of Information Law, the Conflict of Interest Law, the Open Meetings Law, the City Charter, the CB7 bylaws, the comptroller's audit, including the board's response to it, and do they think the board's response to the audit was appropriate or adequate? As to this day, they are still in violation of it. To cite and quote page 14 from said audit, regarding public hearings, Bronx Community Board 7 stated, we host public sessions at every general board meeting and take issue with the comptroller's finding that public sessions do not satisfy the public hearing requirements. Therefore, we will challenge the name, to change the name of our public sessions to public hearings, since it has been clarified by the law department. However, the public session portion of a general board meeting in which the public is invited to share comments and concerns on any matter does not constitute a public hearing, because a hearing is generally held to provide members of the public with an opportunity to express their views concerning a particular subject, such as a proposed budget, a local law, or a matter involving land use. In addition, it is highly desirable that community boards follow substantially similar practices in conducting their public hearings so that members of the public are afforded as uniform opportunity to be heard in all community districts. Thank you so much and have a happy holiday and new year, everybody.
Thank you, AJ. Chairperson Yahaira Arias, this concludes the December 2022 General Board meetings, public hearing, and public session.
Thank you, Carla. Okay, welcome everybody to the General Board meeting of today, Tuesday, December 13, 2022. Okay, so in keeping up with the agenda, we're going to move on to the district manager's updates. Carla?
Thank you. I wasn't ready there. It's just, hello, everyone. So just very briefly, I wanted to report back on the grant that we got from the New York City Civic Engagement Commission. We were able to engage 41 people out of the 40 that we were tasked with engaging. It was very challenging, but we got the work done. I have also been elected to be one of 20 Bronxites who are going to be part of the Bronx Borough Assembly Committee, and we will get to decide what projects will most benefit the Bronx. I submitted our capital and expense budget requests, and we have a new intern. Her name is Brianna Sanchez. She's with us until next year, towards the end of March. She is passionate about social work and is looking forward to assisting our community with services. We hosted on November 19th, our Bronx Victory Memorial Flagging event in commemoration of Veterans Day. I have a link on my report to pictures that you will be able to see later. And this month on the 8th, we hosted our 44th annual tree lighting event at Moshulu Parkway. The tree lighting was well attended, and everyone's energy was very festive, and it was a great event. Thank you for making this event possible to Friends of Moshulu Parkway, Montefiore Hospital, Very Life, Parts of the Solution, the NYPD's 52nd Precinct, our staff, Jade Guzman, Brianna Sanchez, our chairperson, Yahaira Arias, our chair of the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Committee, Barbara Strongser, and all the board members in attendance. Special thanks to Councilmember Eric Dinowitz and Frederick Klein, Assembly members Jeffrey Dinowitz, representative. Your presence was great at the event, and I'm glad that we all had a great time. As our chairperson mentioned earlier, we are compiling all the pictures that are sent to us into a folder, and you will have that link. And just check that link in about a week or two. We should be able to get a lot more pictures and videos in there. And Together for Kingsbridge, Juntos para Kingsbridge, hosted a small businesses discussion to create a community vision for the future of the Kingsbridge Armory. Together for Kingsbridge is also planning to host another public input meeting on January 21st. So please make sure that you open the emails that we send out. All of this information will be there. And last, we have a limited amount of tickets to the New York Yankees 13th annual Winter Wonderland. The celebration will take place at Yankee Stadium. Only children need tickets, and each child in attendance will have the opportunity to choose a holiday gift. I will put the flyer in the chat. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Greatly appreciated. Okay, we're gonna move on, and next is the chair's remarks. I just want to thank everybody for everything that they've done throughout the year at the board. It's great that we are getting more participation and everybody's coming along. I want to go through a couple of things. Since becoming chair in November 15, I've had to deal with a few training sessions with the Bronx Borough President's Office. Those have been very informative and given a lot of guidance as to what a chair should do on a board, the do's and don'ts, the EEOs, all the training that comes with taking on this role. Next, I want to give special thanks to, she's not here with us, Aisha Bravo, for being an extraordinary district manager. We wish her the best of luck and in her future endeavors and being the new Bronx County Clerk's Office. She will definitely be missed here with us. We've been like this great family on Zoom and in person throughout all this time, so she will be missed. To Miss Barbara Stronser, thank you for being an interim chair this whole time. You are amazing. I look up to you in so many ways. So I want to thank you very much for taking on the role of interim chair and helping us get to where we are today. I really, really thank you for that. Other thank yous that I have listed. I want to personally thank Helene Red and Helene Wilson for the work that they've done at Bailey Houses. I do pay attention, the board pays attention, and we'd like to thank you ladies for the work that you do there. It is greatly appreciated. The Veterans Committee, thank you for the flagging event that was held on the 19th. I couldn't personally be there because I was getting over being sick, but I saw the pictures and I saw everything that was done. Thank you for being a part of that. The tree lighting, as I mentioned before, it was a great success. Everyone had a great time. It was awesome to see so many of us enjoying the holiday and sharing it with the people in our district. It was an amazing time. That being said, also, I had the opportunity to put together the screening committee, which will be meeting tomorrow at 6:30 at the Bronx Library Center. An email went out to all the members. Please take a look at the email that was sent out. If you didn't receive it, let us know and we will send it to you. Let's see, that is it on my end. So I'm gonna move on with the next step of the agenda. So I'm taking off my chair hat and putting on my secretary hat, like I said before. So now we're gonna move on to take in attendance and roll call. So give me 1 second. I will be calling out. Okay. So the roll call for the general board meeting of Tuesday, December 13, 2022. Leuris Acosta.
Leuris Acosta present.
Tasha Andrews. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce present.
Jahaira Arias present. Emanuela Samoa.
Emanuela Samoa present.
Thank you. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio present.
Thank you. Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila present.
Thank you. Toby Buford.
Toby Buford present.
Myrna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon present.
Ruth Caraballo.
Ruth Caraballo present.
Thank you. Manjur Shahuri.
Manjur Chaudhary present.
Thank you. Sandra Erickson. I believe she was excused. Nora Fury.
Nora Fury present.
Thank you. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez present.
Thank you. Alfred Grant,
Alfred Grant, present.
Lowell Green,
Lowell Green is present.
Danielle Herbert Guggenheim.
Danielle Herbert Guggenheim, present.
Thank you. Helene Hartman Kanowski.
Helene Hartman Katnowski is present.
Thank you. Jean Hill.
Jean Hill, present.
Thank you. Mama Bourjewel.
Mabubu Joel present.
Thank you. Andrew Leosa. Andrew.
Also present.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie.
Rosalie Leslie present.
Thank you. Jenny Medina. Amira Mustafa. I believe it's on leave. Shaniqua Newton.
Shaniqua Newton, present.
Thank you. Taina Peña.
Taina Peña, present.
You. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry, present.
Thank you. Clive DePasari.
Clyde Plasari, present.
You. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos, present.
Helene Red.
Helene Reyes present.
Nicole Richardson. Janelle Robinson.
Janelle Robinson, present.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer, present.
Victor Saldana.
Victor Saldana, present.
Thank you. Maharani Subajan.
Maharani Sibajan, present.
Thank you. Carlos Sosa.
Carlos Sosa, present.
Thank you. Samantha Suvatis.
Samantha Suvatis, present.
Thank you. Barbara Stronser.
Barbara Stronser is present.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed.
Gwendolyn Thomas Steed, present.
Thank you. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago, present.
Thank you. And Helene Wilson. Helene Wilson.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry about that. I was having problems.
Okay. Okay, and with that said, we have quorum. So now we're going to move on to the next step in our agenda, and that is a review of last month's previous minutes. Carla, Jade, can you put it up on the screen, please?
Yeah, one moment. So
Okay, everybody. As you can see, these are the general board meeting minutes from last month. I'm going to scroll through them really quickly. We have the elected officials, as we all know. Okay, let us know if there's any typos or corrections that we need to make. You can email them to me, to the staff, and we will make sure those corrections are done. Then we go into the manager's report. Interim chair's remarks. Then we went into candidate questions and their speeches. We moved on to attendance and then motions. And voting results of the chair position. And then the committee reports. And closing of the committee meeting, excuse me, of the general meeting. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes with corrections. Chad.
Thank you, Chad. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you, Barbara. I will take the okay. Leuris Acosta.
Leuris Acosta approves.
Thank you. Tasha Andrews. Betty Arce.
Betty Arce approves.
Thank you. Jahira Arias approves. Emanuela Samoa.
Emanuela Samoa approves.
Thank you. Eric Asensio.
Eric Asensio approves.
Thank you. Michelle Avila.
Michelle Avila approves the minutes.
Toby Buford.
Toby Buford approves.
Thank you. Myrna Calderon.
Myrna Calderon approves.
Thank you. Ruth Caraballo.
Ruth Caraballo approves.
Thank you. Manjur Shahuri.
Manjur Chaudhary approves.
Thank you. Sandra Erickson is not with us tonight. Nora Fury.
Nora Fury approves.
Thank you. Hugo Gonzalez.
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
Alfred Grant.
Alfred Grant approves.
Thank you. Lowell Green.
Lowell Green approves.
Thank you. Danielle Herbert Guggenheim. Helene Harmon Kanowski.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I approve. Danielle Herbert, I approve.
Thank you. Helene Harmon Kanowski. Helene. Jean Hill.
Dean Hill approves.
Mama Bourjul.
Mabubu Joel approves.
Thank you. Andrew Leosa.
Andrew Leos approves the motion.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie.
Rosalie Leslie approves.
Thank you. Jenny Medina. Amira Mustafa's on leave. Shaniqua Newton.
Shaniqua Newton approves.
Thank you. Taina Peña.
Taina Peña approves.
Thank you. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry approves with correction. Thank you.
Thank you. Claudia Pasari.
Clyde Plusari approves the motion.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos approves the motion.
Thank you. Helene Red.
Helene Red approves.
Thank you. Nicole Richardson. Janelle Robinson.
Janelle Robinson approves.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer approves.
Thank you. Victor Saldaña.
Victor Saldaña approves.
Thank you. Maharani Subajan. Maharani. Carlos Sosa.
Carlos Sosa approves.
Thank you. Samantha Subatis.
Samantha Subatis approves. Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara Stronser.
Barbara Stronser approves.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed.
Gwendolyn Thomas Steed approves.
Thank you. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago approves the motion.
Thank you. Helene Wilson.
Helene Wilson approves the motion.
Thank you. Motion passes. Now we're going to move on to motions. We have a motion from the Education and Youth and Libraries Committee. Leuris.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Yahida. So as AJ shouted out, and also the council member himself, Eric Denowitz, we are proposing a letter of support for IEP Bill INT 660 2022. As the council member said, it's a way to help students with disabilities seamlessly transition into college. Can I link the I guess, the bill proposal in the chat, but if anyone has any questions, I will attempt to answer them. And I guess just to repeat, the motion is for CB7 to write a letter of support for the IEP bill INC 660 2022 to the office of the council member Eric Dinowitz.
I second the motion.
Barbara seconds the motion, and
Helene Wilson seconds the motion.
thank you, Helene. Okay, before we take a vote, any discussions, any questions?
Is there anything the council member office would like to say about the bill?
Is council member Eric Dinowitz's office still with us?
The link is invalid. Just wanted to mention that.
I had to copy and paste it so that it can be valid. You can't just click it from there. You have to copy and paste it and put it into a web browser.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I had the same issue.
You guys need the council member's office? I can reach out to them and grab them if there's a question.
If someone can get on and give us a little bit of feedback, that would be great. We always appreciate feedback since we have questions.
I'm from the office of Councilmember Dinowitz.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Amanda.
Hi. So just in short, the legislation is allowing people to easier transition for students with disabilities into higher education, being able to transfer whatever accommodations or whatever you have in like high school, middle school to transfer with you to when you go to college or any higher education.
Okay. I saw a few hands up. I'm going to start with Toby.
So my question is, being that I'm a person that works with people with intellectual disabilities, and this bill is geared toward folks getting into college, what type of diploma will they be accepting in this bill? Does this bill outline the type of diplomas that will be given? Because a lot of individuals don't leave high school with a diploma. They leave with certificates. So will the bill accommodate those who have certificates?
I don't immediately know the answer to that, so I'm gonna get back to you if I'll put my contact information in the chat also. Yeah, I don't have that answer, but I can get back to you with the answer to that question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the next question is from Myrna Calderon.
Yeah, we had no explanation of the bill, and I'd like to know what I'm voting yes to. I mean, and a lot of people don't know what an IEP is. It's an individual educational plan. So now that I'm hearing a little bit more, of course, I support it. And just so people know, by law, they're obligated to follow individual educational plans. And one of the things that I always tell people when I used to chair the special education committee is that you should try to find a college that really understands what your child needs, because just putting a child in any university, they'll say that they're going to follow the IEP until that student is actually in the college. And then they find out that, oh, we really can't accommodate what you really need. So we have to be really careful. I know for a fact, like I know Adelphi on Long Island is one of the better universities when it comes to children with IEPs that really follow through on what the needs are of the student. So, just pushing them to go to any university might not be the best thing, because I think we have to make sure, as well-intentioned as it is, that we have to make sure that that university is actually going to do what they're supposed to do. Well, we have too many children that fall through the system because inside a lot of our high schools and elementary schools supposedly follow these IEPs and our children fail miserably. So I just want to make sure that as those well-intentioned, that we make sure that the school that the child is going to is actually going to make sure that child gets an education. And just like Toby said, they don't wind up with a certificate, which is worthless. They actually need a degree. And a lot of these colleges, the students do so well that they actually, some of them go on to medical school, become attorneys because they really do what they're supposed to do. So that's why, we have to make sure that these universities are going to follow through. That's it.
Next, Chad.
Yes, I just want to mention that students are entitled to services that are mandated in their IEPs until they graduate from high school. And it could mean when a student graduates at the age of 21. This could be a regular high school. This could be a state-approved non-public school. I just want to put that out there because for some folks, whenever they graduate isn't contingent on their age. It's actually when they actually graduate. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Yes, and for clarity, I see someone added in the chat. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Amanda.
They added in the chat as well, the like a summary of the bill, but just in case anyone didn't get a chance to read it, it's basically the bill is calling on the mayor's office for people with disabilities to establish a program just to make it easier for people to transition their accommodations from high school to higher education, wherever they decide to go, as well as providing them with student advocates when it comes to like the need for support, having actual advocate for them. But that's in short what the bill is. But I will get back to you on your question. I just contacted our legislative director and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as possible. If you could put your information in the chat so I can send you an email.
Okay, there's a few more questions. Edgar, you were next.
Yeah, my question is, he's mentioning that the letter is being addressed directly to the assemblyman. Shouldn't it be directed to the city council, who are the one presenting the bill?
The letter is being addressed to the council member's office, not the assembly member.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, shouldn't that be going directly to city council, to where the bill is being presented?
Edgar, the reason the committee originally is writing the letter to the office of the council member is because I think he touched on it earlier, how if and when things come from the people, from the constituents and the district itself, that's how they're really able to push bills forward. Like the council members don't just think of bills, they kind of come directly from the people. So if we're showing that we support this, it's proof and I guess gives them a reason to push it forward. Yeah, something along those lines.
So I just wanted to bring to your attention that Councilmember Eric Dinowitz has joined us.
I heard a rumor
Council member?
that we were discussing the bill.
That is correct.
So I don't know if you want to answer questions, just could do a little bit of a deeper dive into it. And then if you give me like 1.5 minutes, I can do a deeper dive and then answer some of the questions that don't come up. So right now, the federal law is, people, everyone, I'm holding a Harry Potter one, I don't know why, are entitled to reasonable accommodations. And for K through 12, that's an individualized education plan. So at whatever, you're in kindergarten, first, second grade, regular interventions, response intervention doesn't work, and you're showing a deficit in whatever area, learning, and whatever it is, you may get an IEP, which delineates an education plan, but also accommodations you can receive. And I think some people know extended time on exams, maybe certain technology if you have, maybe you need a paraprofessional, things like that. And then 12th grade hits. And in the IEP, there is a section called Transition Services, Post-Secondary Goals, which are the goals you have for college. But then once your high school career ends, your services end. And then you go to college and you have to start that whole process over again. Now, from ages 5 to 18, you may have been getting all this support, all a good structural support that actually got you to get your high school diploma, and suddenly those supports are yanked out from under you. And you have nothing. You have no supports now once you get to college. So we had people testifying. They were able to figure out and know how to get to testify in person at a city council hearing, but the process of getting reasonable accommodations in college was more difficult for them. So I had to, in one case, I had to direct them to the vice chancellor who helped take care of it. CUNY recognizes that I think they said 10% of their students identify as having a disability, which is well under what we all know it to be. It's probably closer to 20% of students who have a disability. And to remind everyone, a disability could be a wheelchair, it could be you're on the spectrum, it could be you have a learning disability or an emotional need. All of those things require accommodations. So my goal in this bill is to just simply allow for sharing of information if the student and the family want to, allow for the sharing of information directly with the college from a systemic level, not causing more work for teachers, to say that the DOE can, approval of the family and the student, transfer information to the college. Now with CUNY, they already have data sharing mechanisms. So I don't believe it's a big, I don't personally believe it's a big lift. And then with that, the college then is better able to, one, reach out to the students to make sure they know about where the Office of People with Disabilities is, what accommodations are available for them. But importantly, secondly, the IEP is actually documentation that can be used in many circumstances for students to get reasonable accommodations at the college level. Otherwise students may need to get reevaluated, get doctor's notes, a whole host of issues. So that is the sort of goal of the bill. I think I did make it in a minute and a half. And I know there are questions, so.
Councilmember, yeah, we do have a couple of questions, hands up. Eric Asensio?
Hi, thank you for the clarification, council member. One of the questions that came up that has been coming up is this also, you said CUNY already accepts this program, but is this also for private schools?
So I want to be clear, CUNY does not accept the program. And that's one of the most astounding things is if you look at the college application for NYC DOE students, to the CUNY, there's a line in there which allows students to put their New York City Department of Education ID number. They have data sharing, but they don't have data sharing for the IEP. And there's good reasons not to. I mean, there's IDEA, there's all sorts of, there's laws that protect students. What I'm saying is the mayor's office of people with disability has to create a program to allow for that data sharing. To say if a student wants and if a family wants and if they say it's okay, that they create the mechanism systemically to do it. Again, not creating more work for the teachers, which is very important to me because I know special ed teachers are already overworked. So they don't have it. The goal of the bill is, yes, for all colleges. It does not specify CUNY, though again, I believe it's easier for CUNY because some of the data sharing already exists. Now, in addition to this, part of this is they are creating a new system for writing IEPs. And I think that this sort of initiative should be part of that for allowing non-teachers to have access to the IEP, again, with the explicit written approval of the students and the parents, unless the kid's 18.
Okay, so and then the support system that these students need, then the college will have to run and create those systems, those support systems.
The systems already legally should exist. If a student requires extra time on an exam, for example, that already exists at the college. If a student requires, some sort of physical accommodation, that already exists. It's legally required to exist. And so that's the thing. All I'm really asking is for our school systems to talk to each other. Like to put it as simply as possible, I'm asking for our school system to talk to each other so that we don't have more and more students with disabilities dropping out of college when they have the ability to succeed, if only they got the accommodations to which they're entitled.
Okay, and one last question. So this bill will affect all colleges within New York City?
The goal of the bill is to affect all colleges, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. The next question is by Samantha Suvatis.
Hi, okay. The question I have is, I know CUNY has accessibility offices. So I know, for example, like Holstos or BCC, they have accessibility offices, and I've helped, some graduating seniors bring their IEPs to the accessibility office, right? And they do accommodate the kids in terms of time. Oh, I don't want to say kids at that point. I want to say students, because they're learners at that point. So that means that we're mandating the accessibility offices to actually I have a very angry 6-year-old. Sorry. So does that mean
I have a very happy almost 8-year-old who wants to bring
I'll
me a
take your
blanket.
8-year-old right now. So does that mean we can have the IEP actually accommodated from a learning disability to an emotional disability? So whatever the IEP says, the accessibility office can actually legally say, okay, we'll give you those services. Is that what we're looking at?
So first of all, let me just say, Samantha, one, I also have kids who, as you can see, and
Sorry.
also I call college students kids sometimes too, because I'm so used to them as students and learners. I'm like very used to it. So let me just say that. So if you look at the CUNY website, the IEP won't and can't carry over into college. It's not applicable at that point, but CUNY can use that as documentation to provide the accommodations, just like they can use a doctor's note to provide the accommodations. So it wouldn't be accurate for me to say the IEP is transferred over. Plus, the IEP includes a lot of things that aren't at college. It includes learning. Ideally, it includes learning plans, learning targets, things like that. The accommodations in college are typically more like, here are your reasonable accommodations, but no, they're not required to, and I don't think they do a learning plan for the kids and targeted goals. That is in the IEP, but that wouldn't be in this. It's not extending the life of the IEP. That's not what the bill does.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you.
Okay. I saw Taina Peña had her hand up.
The question was answered. Thank you.
Chad, your hand is still up. Do you still have a question?
Yeah, I just need clarification. So give me a minute. Sorry, I tripped. Just for clarification. So this is contingent on age 18 or graduation from high school? I ask this question because not everyone graduates at the age of 18. Some, depending on the school that they go to, may end up graduating as late as 21.
Yeah, no, and I particularly when you're talking about students with IEPs, they're entitled to through the 21st year of their life, entitled to high school, but it's not age contingent. Maybe I'm not understanding the question fully, but it's not based on age. It's based on you're going to college.
Okay, you answered my question.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
I would add one other just so you all understand, like, one of the challenges of the bill, but one of the things that I think is very clever. And I say I'm a little proud of. We don't. So one, the Higher Education Committee doesn't move legislation. There's a few reasons for that, but this is the first piece of legislation that's being moved in a long time. I think the only other piece of legislation was a reporting bill. This is a bill that's going to ideally transform the way that students receive services. But the important thing to note, just so you understand the power City Council does and does not have, we don't legislate the Department of Education. We require reporting and we can require distribution of materials, but we can't legislate the way they function. And we cannot legislate CUNY, but what we can legislate is the Mayor's Office of People with Disabilities. So we are legislating. The purpose of this is to legislate that they then, a different mayor's office is tasked with creating this program, because they have, in this case, I would think a little more power. The mayor's office has more power over the DOE than we do. And it's, and again, I think it's very proud. It's very cool that the committee is moving a piece of legislation when that's not, when it's not a committee that pushes legislation. We do more oversight and information for the community.
Thank you, council member. Thank you for coming back online with us and giving us explanation as to this bill. And we, as you know, we all had lots of questions and you've answered a lot of them. We're going to move with our agenda because it's 8 o'clock. We want to make sure that we get everything that we need to get done tonight, and we appreciate you. Thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for coming again. Thank you for coming on and giving an explanation. So with that said, are we moving forward with this motion? And from the last notes that I had, the motion was seconded by Barbara Stronser and Helene Wilson. Are we ready to take a vote?
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Everybody comfortable with taking the vote? Good. Okay, 1 second. Let me pull up my attendance. Okay. So Leoris, can you read your motion one more time for us, please?
Yes, I will read our motion. Oh, snap. I'm sorry. I have to pull it up again. 1 second, almost there. Okay. So the motion is for Bronx Community Board 7 to write a letter of support for IEP Bill INT 660-2022 to the office of Councilmember Eric Dinowitz.
Thank you. And Leoris Acosta?
Leoris Acosta approves.
Okay. Expand my. Tasha Andrews? Betty Arce?
Betty Arce approves the motion.
Jahaira Arias approves. Emanuela Samoa?
Yeah, Emmanuel Samoa approves.
You, Eric Asensio?
Eric Asensio approves.
You, Michelle Avila?
Michelle Avila approves.
You, Toby Buford?
Toby Buford abstain.
You, Myrna Calderon?
Myrna Calderon approves.
You, Ruth Caraballo?
Ruth Caraballo approves.
Manjur Shahuri?
Manjur Chaudhary approves.
You, Sandra Erickson is excused. Nora Fury?
Nora Fury approves.
Thank you. Hugo Gonzalez?
Hugo Gonzalez approves.
Thank you. Alfred Grant?
Alfred Grant approves.
Thank you. Lowell Green?
Lowell Green approves.
Thank
I
you.
got the mayonnaise and the
Danielle
cheese.
Herbert Guggenheim?
Danielle Herbert Guggenheim approves.
Thank you. Helene Hartman Kanowski?
Helene Hartman Kudnowski approves.
Thank you. Jean Hill?
Jean Hill approves.
Thank you. Mama Bourjewel?
Mabubu Joel approve.
Thank you. Andrew Leosa?
You are unmuted.
Andrew Leosa approves the motion.
Thank you. Rosalie Leslie?
Rosalie Leslie abstains.
Thank you. Jenny Medina? Amira Mustafa is on leave. Shaniqua Newton.
Shaniqua Newton approves.
Thank you. Taina Peña.
Taina Peña approves.
Thank you. Daisy Perry.
Daisy Perry.
Thank you. Clyde Pisari.
Clyde Basari approves.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos approves the motion.
Thank you. Helene Red.
Helene Red abstains.
Thank you. Nicole Richardson. Janelle Robinson.
Janelle Robinson approves.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Roy approves the motion.
Thank you. Victor Saldaña.
Victor Saldaña approves the motion.
Thank you. Maharani Subajan.
Maharani Sibajan approves.
Thank you. Carlos Sosa.
Carlos also approves the motion.
Thank you. Samantha Subatis.
Samantha Subasis approves.
Thank you. Barbara Stronser.
Barbara Streisand approves the motion.
Thank you. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed. Adeline Walker Santiago.
Adeline Walker Santiago approves the motion.
Thank you. Helene Wilson.
Helene Wilson approves.
Thank you. Motion passes, 3 abstentions. Those that abstain, would you like to be noted?
Yes, I would like to be noted.
Thank you.
Helene Red like to be noted, please.
Thank you.
Rosalie Leslie will be noted.
Thank you. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Moving forward. Now, moving forward with the agenda, now we are going to open the floor for nominations for the position of Secretary of the Board. These nominations will be from the floor, so if does anyone want to nominate a member?
I would like to nominate a member for secretary.
Okay.
Myrna Calderon. I would like to nominate Michelle Avila.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Eric Asensio would like to nominate Ruth Caraballo.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Chad Roy.
I would like to nominate Helene Red. Oh, go ahead.
No, go. You got it.
No, go ahead.
Chad,
Ladies first.
Chad, I believe I heard you.
Chad Roy, I'd like to nominate Nora Fury.
Okay. Anyone else?
This is Helene Wilson. I'd like to nominate Helene Red for
Thank
secretary.
you, Helene. Thank you. Okay. So the nominations are,
Just out of curiosity, procedurally, don't they have to accept the nomination?
I was getting to that, Edgar.
Okay.
Okay, so the nominees are Michelle Avila, Ruth Caraballo, Helene Red, and Nora Fury. Michelle, do you accept?
Thank you, Myrna, and thank you to those that considered me for this. Unfortunately, I have to decline this nomination due to professional obligations. I'm very honored and will, of course, continue to serve the board in my current capacity. So thank you, but I cannot accept at this time.
Thank you, Michelle. Ruth Caraballo.
Thank you for this opportunity. I willingly accept.
Thank you. Helene Red.
Yes, I willfully accept. Thank you.
Okay. And Nora Fury.
Was that you, Chad, who nominated me?
Yes, it was. Yes,
I
it was.
cannot, you know, I cannot accept.
Okay.
Thank you for nomination.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, with that being said, Ruth and Helene Red, you will need to send an email to the staff and myself accepting the nomination for Secretary of the Board. no later than 12 p.m. tomorrow. So we will need to get a formal email from both of you accepting the nomination. Okay?
Okay.
Great. Okay, moving forward, now we're going to move on to the chair's reports. I'm going to call out the committee names, and we'll start off with budget and personnel. Andrew?
You are unmuted.
Okay. The Budget Personnel Ethics Committee held a meeting last night, December 12th at 6 p.m. prior to the Executive Board meeting starting at 6:30 p.m. The committee immediately voted to go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Due to time constraints with the Executive Committee scheduled to meet at 6:30 p.m., a motion passed to suspend and adjourn the meeting to continue to address the personnel matter at the next committee meeting. Date to be determined.
Thank you, Andrew. Barbara, excuse me, Parks, Barbara?
Good evening. I would like, of course, to thank everybody who made the tree lighting a big success, especially our staff, Caller and Jade and Friends of Marshall Parkland, and all of you who came out for one of our better tree lightings. Thank you again. Our next meeting, we have some guests. We have a group from the Amateur Astronomers Association. They're looking to put a public observatory in the Jerome Park area, which would be the grassy area on the western end of our border, opposite Bronx High School of Science and Lehman College. So if you're interested in astronomy, please come to that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Next, we have Environment and Sanitation. Betty?
The committee did not meet in December. We will meet in January, and we'll have a full agenda published at that time.
Thank you. Health, Michelle?
Hi, the Health and Human Services Committee did not meet this month. We will have our meeting the third Tuesday in January. Thanks so much, everyone. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Leuris? I'm sorry, Education, Leuris?
Hello, the Education, Youth, and Libraries Committee did not meet in December, but we are meeting on the 4th of January. The agenda will soon be shared. Thank you.
Thank you. Housing, Eric?
Hi, good evening. So we had a presentation from EDC about the findings of the first workshop that they held on November 5th in regards to the Kingsbridge Armory, and also a presentation from the from Douglaston Development in regards to the 2850 senior housing building, which is accepting applications until January 3rd. At HPD Connect, or paper from can be requested from Ford and Bedford Corp Housing Corp. And the next meeting will be January 10th.
Thank you. Traffic and Transportation, Edgar?
Yeah, good evening. We didn't have a meeting in December. Hope to see everyone beginning of January for our meeting.
Thank you. Veterans, Chad?
Yes, good evening. I'm getting my notes together. We actually had our meeting the day after the general. So basically we had someone from Union Community Health Center discuss that they were doing a mobile event on 3 days, November 16th to the 18th. And we're providing free services to veterans, including hearing screenings, mental health screenings, and dental screenings. One of the goals of Union Community Health Center is establish areas where they can attract more veterans to utilize the service and make those referrals where veterans can be seen for their medical needs. Another thing that we covered at our meeting is the fact that there are many imposter scams that are targeting veterans and service members. What they try to do is they pretend to be members of financial institutions like USAA Bank, maybe Federal Credit Union, and they'll ask for those key leading questions like your ID, your social, birthday, passwords, bank account info, and they'll try to stage that something's going on with your card's been canceled, there's fraud in your accounts, and generally folks are being reminded not to give out information if they randomly reach out to you. In the minutes, there's a link where you can get more information, and I'm going to put in the chat where you can report any kind of fraud or suspicious activity that will be targeted at veterans and their family members. This concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Quality of life, public safety and quality of life, Victor Saldana.
Good evening, board. We did not have a meeting for the month of December. We would be meeting again in the month of January with a tentative agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Okay, bylaws, Myrna.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, we did not meet this month. We're going to meet in January. Pretty much the bylaws are finished. I just want to have one read through, make sure we didn't miss anything so we could present to the executive committee and then the full board. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that being said, the next item on the agenda is open for board members, questions, comments. Anybody has questions, comments? We're good? Going once, going twice. Oh, Lowell.
I just, because I don't read that well on the computer. Once the bylaws get approved by the executive board, can we have a paper copy available so that I can review it that way?
Sure, if once we send out the email, if you cannot, let us know and we'll make sure we get you a hard copy. We'll work that out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, with that being said, if there's no more questions, no more comments, this closes out the general board meeting. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Motion.
I move the motion close.
Colleen Red, motion to close.
I second that motion.
Okay. Motion.
I-99 is.
Okay, all those in favor to close the meeting?
Aye.
Bye.
Well, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Kwanzaa.
Everyone.
Yes.
The next meeting is in January.